Welcome back to the channel. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at building a soft piano sound in the Nord Stage 4. And this is a perfect sound for those times where you either want to start off a song with a little bit more of a subdued sound and not so bright and punchy, or the way that I use it a lot is in church. As we're ending a song, I'll transition into a softer piano while someone goes into a prayer or speaking, and it allows me to give some texture behind whoever's speaking without being too busy. So we're going to jump in. I'm going to show you a few things here. First off, let's go ahead and zero out or initialize our whole keyboard here and just get us back to a blank piano. We can do this really easily by holding Shift and tapping on this Layer Init button here to the right of our main screen. It brings us to our Layer Init screen, and we can choose whether to initialize one or more of our sections, or in our case, we're going to choose all. And these buttons down here correspond with these little options on the screen here. So we're going to tap the number 1 button, which corresponds with all, initialize that, press our Shift Exit button, brings us back to our screen, and you can see we're just back to a basic white grand. So that sounds great. We have no effects. We have just our number 1 or our A layer in our piano section with that white grand. We could scroll through and pick a different piano. In this case, I am going to use the white grand for this demonstration. So let's make this a little softer. We've got no EQ, no reverb, nothing like that. What we're going to do, the first thing I like to do is in the timbre, I like to change it to soft. So I'm going to play this and then I'm going to turn it to soft. So beautiful, soft sound right there. Again, this is the normal. That's soft. Now, what I also like to do is play a little softer. You can get some nice little nuances to the piano sound when you're not slamming the keys. Now, one thing the Nord Stage 4 has, which is really nice, is this dynamic compression right here. So we can turn this on, and what this does is it evens out our lower volume notes and our higher volume notes without squishing it like traditional compression does. So on the dynamic compression, I like to put it at number 2, which is about 50%. And this is what that sounds like. You could go up to 75 if you want. Now notice I'm not playing the keys any harder. If I turn that off, again, what that does is it brings the quieter notes I'm playing more to the volume of when you're playing it heavier. So what this does is it allows me to really play softly. That is so beautiful. Now, one other thing that I like to do is take a little reverb and throw it on there. And the Nord Stage 4 cloud reverb is just amazing. So we're going to go ahead and turn our reverb on. We can do that with this button over here. We're going to move our type down to cathedral. Then we're going to hold the Shift button. We're going to tap that button, the type button again, which is going to bring us to our second variation of the cathedral reverb, which is our cloud reverb. We bring that in just a little bit, maybe to 2. Let's bring that in a little more. That's beautiful. We'll pull that back just a little bit because it's quite a bit there. We'll go to 2.5. Now, what we can do to contrast what we've done here is we can go over to our layer B in our piano section. We are also going to choose the white grand, and we're going to just take a little bit of stage reverb on there. And then we're going to leave the timbre and the dynamic compression off. And I realized that I did not take the effects and make them independent for the layers. So if I switch back to my A layer, you'll notice it's changed now to the stage. So let's fix that. Hold Shift and tap on the piano section. And now we have our two sections there, and follow focus is on. So it's going to move the effects to whichever layer is active here in my piano section. So active layer B, we're going to again have that stage reverb. Active layer A, we're going to move that down and hold Shift and make sure we're in the cathedral chorale. 2.5. Back to our other one. And what I like to do on my pianos, because I'm usually playing through a front of house system, is on the brighter one, I'll throw a little bit of maybe a +5 on the treble, and I'll drop the bass back maybe -5, leave the mids there. Not quite, maybe +3 on the treble. Now what's really cool on the Nord Stage 4, and I'll talk more about this in a separate video, is this layer scene 2. Now what this does is controls the different mutes of the layers to allow us to have two variations of a program. So we can tap on this, and you'll notice it's already set to layer A. Now we could change that, but that's actually what I want it to do. So when I tap layer scene 2, it goes to my soft piano. When I tap it again, it goes back to my regular one. So let's use this in context. So we have our regular piano on B, soft piano on 1. Regular sounds like this. Soft one. Quite a difference there, right? And if I play the soft piano loudly, it's a little bit louder because of that dynamic compression. So I just keep that in mind when I'm playing this, is I back off naturally anyway, play a little bit softer. So let's use this in context, pretend we're coming out of a song. The dynamic compression is doing a little bit too much, so I'm going to bring that down to just 1. We're going to turn the EQ on. We're going to back the treble off about -3. Going back to our regular one, I'm going to start off the song. So just a quick recap on what we did to make this soft piano. We initialized, brought us back to that white grand. First thing we did is we made the piano the soft timbre. Then we brought dynamic compression in. In my case, I'm a harder player, so I kept it at 25. We backed our EQ off, -3 on the treble. And then we brought in 2.5 of that cathedral reverb, the cathedral choral. And that's about all we did here. You could do some other little tweaks on the EQ, depending on how this sounds through your front of house system. But this is my go-to. Could soak it with a little bit more cathedral in certain instances. Can almost kind of give you more freedom to play less and let it just carry. Wow, that is a beautiful sound. If you've got any questions, throw those down in the comments below. But hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you have the Nord Stage 4, trying to figure out how to get that soft piano sound for when the pastor calls you up at the end of a song or towards the end of the service, hey, come play. And you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I use for a sound here? Hopefully this one is one that you can build in your Nord Stage 4, save it as a program. All you've got to do is hit store, go in there. I've got another video on my channel about storing and renaming sounds and programs. So go check that out as you build sounds and you want to save them to your Nord Stage 4. That's going to be a helpful one for you. Again, if you've got any questions, throw those down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support of this channel. Stay inspired and keep making that music.